Peace and high frequencies, everybody. I'm going to talk about the post that I just put in the community tab about the dream I had last night on vampires. I am going to revisit right now the dream that I had a year ago about the Kamala Harris assassination. I remember the dream. I was like, "Ooh, I had a dream on this assassination of Kamala Harris." I couldn't remember what I titled it because I didn't title it anything about Kamala Harris at all. What's her name? Kamala? I don't know. But I didn't title it anything about Kamala Harris. So I had to go through my video, scroll, see what I can remember about what I wore that day, about where I was going, if I was home, if I was driving. And I finally found it. So if you follow me on Instagram, I did post a snippet of it. If you don't follow me there, let me give you here. The title of this video is The Dream plus Light Language and the Sybils plus Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror. So that's the name of the video. And it starts off talking about the dream I had about, excuse me. The dream I had about the Kamala Harris assassination. So it's really interesting. I was thinking about it today. Excuse me, I don't know why I got to sneeze now. I was thinking about it because I think the dream was connecting two things that's going on right now. Of course, the supposedly the attempted assassination on Trump, and then the nomination for the Democratic Party nominee for president of Kamala Harris. So I think my dream was connecting both of those two. I didn't really know at that time because they were so early, that was over a year ago. I did, however, know that we were going to have Kamala Harris, run for president and possibly get into that position of the president of the United States. Possibly, I don't know. And I think in my dream that was really that connection of both of those. I was thinking that what I was foreseeing with Kamala Harris getting into the office of president, it would have been Biden transitioning and she would have to take over the role. But it just comes out that he's not going to run, and that she has taken the Democratic nominee with, I think it's been, a day or maybe 2 days at this point. This is July the 23rd, 2024. I think at this point it may have been a day since she put into the race, and she's already raised $81 million, which is the most in presidential history. And I just kind of have to pause right there because this matrix world we live in is just extremely hilarious to me, because we have people who are not getting paid what they're worth on jobs. We have homeless people here in the United States. We have people who are sleeping in the dark, who don't have food to eat. We have people who don't have any jobs. We have veterans that don't have any jobs, places to live and eat. We have so much poverty. Poverty is just, stricken in this United States of America. We're not even going to talk about the world. We're just talking about in the United States, in which she's taken the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party. And yet, in one day, people can raise $81 million. $81 million. So the wealthy people in this world, have donated or given this money. I don't know. My thought process also is why does it cost so much to run for the president of the United States? They're going to talk about the campaign trail and travel and I guess attorneys and security and all of that stuff. Well, if it costs that much to go from state to state, let's do state to state virtual campaign trails. Let's take, who is going to stand up? Let's do that, Kamala Trump. Let's stand up and say, hey, instead of taking this $81 million and these millions of dollars that you all have given me for the campaign trail, let's do an online virtual tour of state to state for your state to have a QR code to scan in, listen to me live, just for your state. All right, and listen to me live, and we address some of the issues pertinent to your location. Rather than take $81 million plus, because that's just in one day, and utilize it for a campaign. And you all enlighten me, because, I'm not into politics. I haven't voted in, where are we, 2024? I think it's been since 2007 or 8. I haven't voted since 2007 or 2008 or whenever it was. I voted the first Obama term. I did vote for Obama once in my ignorance. I think I was probably 21 years old at the time when I voted for him the first time. I'm probably about 28. I don't know. Whenever it was. And then I stopped voting altogether because I became more, privy to knowledge and enlightenment that just didn't make sense. So I stopped. But going back into that dream, and you all can watch it of what I saw, what I had a third eye viewing of, and you give me your decoding of the dream. Now, going into the dream I had last night, right? I go off on a tangent, then I come back to the reason for the video. So, in this dream, I was traveling with the group. We were placed, in this location. I want to say on site, but I don't know what this site was. But I was placed with this group, and there was this vampire who ended up in our group, and we were, this vampire had put us under a spell or sleep. Like, you know how they have mind control and you just don't even know? And they ended up, this vampire ended up turning us. I call it turning when they, turn you into a vampire. The dead walking amongst the living, as they say. And we didn't know, we didn't believe him. We said, no, we're not vampires. And the whole group was saying, no, we're not vampires. At first I had a third eye view, and then I embodied one of the people who were in the group. And then the vampire said, yes. And mind you, this vampire was somebody that I knew. Now that I'm awake, I can't recall who it was, but it was somebody who I knew in this reality too. Can't remember who it was specifically, but it was somebody that I knew that it was close. Now I have to re-examine it, who that was. But anyway, he said, yeah, you'll know. And yeah, it was masculine energy. He said, yeah, you'll know soon that all of you all have been turning vampires. Now, he had taken some bodies, of course, went and killed some people and left these bodies on this site that we were at. And next thing we know, our eyes become open to these dead bodies. And I could start to feel my body start to be like getting really dry. Like it was almost like somebody was sucking out the water and the blood out of me. It just felt like it was just shriveling up. And so as I started to feel that me shriveling up, I looked around and I could see those other people that were in my group like taking to the necks of the dead bodies and drinking from them, because I guess they were feeling what I was feeling, that they were wasting away, that if they did, they wouldn't be able to live without actually fulfilling that thirst that they need of drinking blood from these bodies that were laying around. So they took to the bodies and started drinking. I was looking around and I just saw everybody just putting their mouths on the necks of these bodies and taking in their blood. Now, going back, even as I talk about it, of course we see vampire movies. A lot of what is formulated in the imagination is from things that we've already viewed in this dream realm, in this waking state, and it crosses over into the dream state when we're asleep, and it creates. But however, not specifically taking of blood from humans literally, not literally. This is kind of like a figurative statement and analysis of what is really going on. Draining the necks of those around you in order for you to live. It's pretty much the type of world that we live in. We will step on the necks, break the necks of others. That $81 million is stepping on the necks and breaking the necks of others. If that money isn't like put back into a community or a city that needs it. Does Detroit even have clean water at this point? You know, the people who suffered from the hurricanes, you know, have they been compensated? You know, have they been placed? It's people who all over the United States who have suffered from various types of, you know, natural disasters, police brutality, poverty, like I said, wages. People here in Memphis make $7.25 an hour as minimum wage. The taxes here are 9.25% on the dollar. Okay? The average cost of living here is about $30,000. Most black people in the hood make $11,000 to $15,000 a year. Now you think about that. We're one city. This is statistics on one city that's over 70% black. All right. We have a Hispanic population, an Asian population, but it's not like Florida or Texas or California. So I don't even talk about the brown people, because in Memphis it's not really a brown community here. It's black and white. So just talking about the city in which I live, those are, you know, some roundabout numbers that we can look at and work with. And yet someone's got $81 million to run a presidential campaign that they're not going to do anything about, because these people say the same things over and over. So they're on the necks, they're draining the necks of people for their gain, so they don't shrivel up and die. They're draining the necks because they know their time is coming to an end. So they're continuing to feed off of those who are weaker than them in certain areas, in various areas. as a people, and I'm not talking any particular color, just people in general, if you are still believing in the political system, I definitely want you to wake up. Don't fall for the we fight for you. Don't fall for Kamala Harris is a woman of color. Anyone who takes in the office of the President of the United States, of this corporation of America, answers to someone and entities higher than them in order for things to come and be put into place here. Has nothing to do with them at all. Has nothing. It doesn't matter if Trump is in office. It doesn't matter if Biden's in office. It doesn't matter if Kamala's in office. It doesn't matter who. If your Uncle Billy Joe is in office, Leroy Hamsley, T.T. Bartholomew, you know, I'm just making up people's names. It don't matter who in office. Black Big Witch. I saw somebody earlier today that had Taylor Swift for president in the yard. It doesn't matter. We should be so understanding of this point right now, people, that it doesn't matter who's in office. Only thing they do is give you a face to blame. Whatever Trump is doing what he does when he was a president, or what he may do as president, has already been ordered. They're just making him the face for that particular time and era so people can have someone to blame. Has nothing to do with Trump. If Kamala gets into office, has nothing to do with her. It's about who she works for. They work for someone. They don't work for us. The system never has worked for us. Especially as black people, it's not for us. And as any people, is put in place for things that they want to do. So that dream was interesting. And of course, like I've said before, I'm not a political person whatsoever. I don't have nothing to do with political system, local or nationally. I don't vote either way. I don't vote for mayor, senator, congressman, congresswoman, school board, city council. I don't give a shit. Y'all answer to somebody else, and nobody's doing anything for my people that is needed. So one thing that has not been addressed here is minimum wage. $7.25 ain't shit. People making $11,000 a year ain't shit. So until someone comes up and talks about that, you know, everybody want to talk about generational wealth and building generational wealth. Who the fuck gonna be able to build generational wealth making $11,000 a year? Shut the fuck up. And then everybody want to talk about, well, you need this, you need to get this plan, you need to get this life insurance, you need to get this and build this for your... Man, this motherfucker's trying to survive. Shut the fuck up. Can't nobody give $20 a month if that's $20 that I need to feed my kids or pay my light bill. Rent is going up. My nephew just told me a few weeks ago that it's like $1,800 here in Memphis, and this is low cost. So you think about somebody making $11,000 a year. They got to be on Section 8 to get them some type of housing. You know, why not get rid of Section 8 and all these government assistance and just increase the income? You got $81 million to give away in a day? Yeah, y'all can increase wages. Nobody should be making $7.25 an hour. At the bare minimum, people should be making $18 to $20. That should be the lowest people are making right now. This is fucking ridiculous. So for me to have any hand in going to the poll, pressing any button, I don't believe in this system. The only thing we need to do is start setting up our own food systems, making sure that we have our own food and water supply, our own weapons, making sure that our families are protected and taken care of, and being able to move to the whatever that next step is for you and your plan. So that's what I wanted to share. I'm not going to stay on here and rant because I could, but I ain't. But do go check out that video. I will link it below. And as always, I leave you in peace and high frequencies.